Scotty, beam me up.
Oh. Smash.
Get over here. It is pointless to resist.
Oh shit!
All right. What a way to kick off the show. We got Matt Scheafer from Rolls of the Pit. What's up?
What's happening, guys? How you doing?
Great to have you back, buddy.
Hell yeah!
We're going to talk about some action figures today. Just to break off our normal conversations of movies and TV shows and video games. But we all kind of sort of came up with like a top 4, top 5 of like our favorite toys that we had growing up, toy sets, figures, whatever. And I have a little unboxing I want to do. I've shown you guys the photos, the Ultimate Predator figure. I finally found the OG Jungle Hunter, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and I'm conflicted on you and your unboxing thing here because like everything.
So that's 2 Matts I get to get under the skin of.
Everything unboxed is stuff I've collected through thrift and vintage and all that stuff. But you know, when I get down to it, like when I buy the shit like you're buying, I'm not unboxing it. It stays right here in this package.
Yeah.
Well, see, even that I would have trouble with.
See, my wife, it's funny because my wife, she goes, well, why do you buy toys if you're just going to leave them in the box? And I go, well, I'm too old to really buy fucking toys. So I may as well leave them in the box, right?
I leave some in, but
I'm too old to
sometimes,
play. I'm too old to buy.
Sometimes I'll break them out and pose them and, you know, everything else. But like Art, he came out of the box right away.
This guy here, I found him at the local vintage toy shop for like $13. I had this exact figure when I was a kid, and if you press his the belt buckle here, his head flips around.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I was like, I saw it on Facebook. I was like, I'm on my way. Do not sell that figure. I'm on my way right now.
Yeah. See, I get lucky. I think everything in here is that's been opened or unboxed. Like, I think, you know, my swap meet finds are like this kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's all
that's awesome.
And I think I might have paid $5 for this whole setup.
That's awesome.
So,
but yeah, that Power Ranger, he was mint on card.
geez.
There was a little like temporary tattoo that came with him. I put the tattoo in a Ziploc baggie and I put it over there with the extra heads for my NECA figures. So, yeah, like my ex-wife, she was right here at the table and I just popped it right off the card, and she goes, "Ah!" And I go, "What? Who buys toys to keep them in the box?" Yeah, I know there are some. Now, had it been signed by Jason David Frank,
You leave it in the box.
Abso-fucking-lutely. If it's signed, or I have intention to get it signed, like I would have bought 2 of these and opened one and left the other one in the box if I were meeting Arnold Schwarzenegger tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
That's the kind of collector I am. And with the interchangeable parts, I feel I have to open it. It's meant to be played with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter how old you are.
Fair argument.
That's my stance on it. But we're not here to talk about that today. until we get to the unboxing.
Till we get to that, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll get to that as we're talking. But anyway. So we'll just go around, you know, start with 5 and work our way up or whatever. Now, I'm just going to start.
You said top 5 that we had.
I had or wanted.
Okay, yeah, I heard you different. I did top 5 that I wanted that were on my.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's absolutely fine. And you could, we'll go off topic. We always do on this show. but
just this show. I mean,
good point.
I'll leave this at very vague, but the rules of the pit. We had Milo on, and there's a very nice conversation about smelling farts that everybody's got to check in. It's a conversation that had to have been had. We spent a good 5 or 10 minutes on it. It was beautiful.
For those who aren't maybe not familiar with the punk scene, that's Milo from the band The Descendants. He's a very pivotal figure in this little community that we have that's worldwide, and he's quite famous. So it's pretty big for you guys to grab him, like as influential as he is. Like, holy shit.
It really was. It was kind of and I'll tell you, he was the absolute most generous, incredible, like, even just sitting with the guy, it felt like you were sitting with one of your best buds, just having a conversation. So easy to talk to. So, and he's a molecular biologist. I mean, Jesus, man.
Right.
He has saved my life many times. And that's all I can say about it.
Yeah. So it was pretty incredible. But we're launching it. So Saturday, it's coming out. The interview hits Saturday.
There we go. Rules of the Pit debut.
That's it. It's gonna be fun.
I know I'm excited to see that. Like, real. Milo, like, I can't say he saved my life, but the Descendants were always there.
Yeah.
They're kind of like how The Undertaker was to professional wrestling, the Descendants are to punk rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just the one constant. The Descendants were always there.
Nope, I ain't even gonna lie. He has saved my life many times.
Yeah. Well, even just come on here, I ordered, because we're gonna talk action figures. I had to make sure.
Oh yeah.
If I'm gonna promote it, I should probably have it. So.
I love reaction toys because you can find them at they're so decently priced. They really are.
Yeah. This one was a quick online buy. It was $20. I won't say the name of the place because I typically frequent it, but I could get it the next day to have it on time. So, it was like, well, shit, we're talking action figures, and that's what I got to promote everywhere I go. So I probably should have it. And the top of it you can't get. So,
but I'm going to go ahead and just kick us off here with this little action figure conversation.
Sweet.
We'll come in and out with rules of the pit and see what you guys got coming up as we're talking here. So the bone crunching action figures from Jakks Pacific, for those who don't know, were wrestling action figures in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s. Now, you had the LJNs, you had the Hasbros. The Bone Crunchers, for me, were the OG figure, because when I started watching wrestling is when they were at their peak.
Yeah.
And you had the big ring that was way too big for the figures.
Yep.
But I had that thing. I had probably 60 of these things, and I just piled them in this ring and kept it under the coffee table in the living room until I would come home from school, take it out, have a Royal Rumble or two, put them back under the table. Next day, repeat, And so, but there's one set in particular that I wanted to have, and I got it when I was 10. Craig, you have the picture, the one where they're wearing the championship.
Yep.
It was the first one that featured different versions of championship belts. Like the old Hasbros and stuff, I believe, had belts, but not like the different designs. Can you zoom in a little bit?
I should have sent you pictures of my list. That would have made it more relevant. Although the stuff that I've got is pretty easy to find with a quick search.
Right. But I remember, I want to say I was 11 years old, and it was New Year's Day. Yeah, I might have been 10. I'm not sure, but it was New Year's Day. My family did our annual New Year's Day shopping trip, and this is one of the sets that I wanted so bad. So I got it on that, because they all had belts, and I was like, my wrestlers need belts. And I got the belt, and you can't see it, but the Undertaker is wearing the world title there.
Yeah, and 3 of those 4 I'm familiar with, because I think they came in at the tail end of when I was really into it.
Yeah. This set was released in 97.
Okay, so 3 of those guys had been in there for a little while by 97. Because I know the Bulldog, I know Owen, and I know the Undertaker. Rocky.
That's the Rock. Yeah.
That's the Rock.
That's the first Rock.
Yeah, that's the Rock. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep. That's the Rock's very first action figure, and that's the first one I ever had of him.
Oh man. And is that an old Toys R Us tag or is that a KB label?
Yeah, that was Toys R Us exclusive.
Got it.
Yeah, Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And that's where I got it too. Was Toys R Us. Now I'm thinking about it, 'cause it was right there at the, like, as soon as you walk in, like, and go down the action figure aisle. If you remember those days.
Yep.
Like you had action figures, you had Lego, you had, each different toy had its own aisle.
Yep.
At Toys R Us, and the action figures, like, it was just one giant wall of wrestling. But at the end, on the end cap, was this set, and I was just like, yeah, I need that. I need that now. And so I grabbed it. And I destroyed those figures. Poor Owen got a haircut at one point. Oh, man. But yeah. Those figures there for me. And then you have the other picture, Craig?
Which one's
There's
that?
another set that I got.
Ah, yes. Got them.
Like, these aren't my personal, like, sets. I found these on eBay.
Yeah.
And just listed the pictures. But yeah, I got this set too at one point. But I remember these.
Held on to Stone Cold. I had.
Oh yeah.
The old thing. I don't know if he still does it. Let's see. Nah, the battery's dead. But this one actually says Austin 316 because Stone Cold said so.
That's awesome.
When my oldest, who's Jesus, she just turned 22.
Oof.
When she was like less than a year, I used to push that button and she would repeat it. And so I had this little like micro kid saying Stone Cold said so.
That's awesome. So yeah, I remember wanting this set here because the LOD figures in here are the LOD 2000. Whenever they came back in 1998. And then of course Steve Austin in jeans and a t-shirt. I had the Steve Austin in tights, but this one was a different one. So I had an interview Austin now. And I had a different Shawn Michaels because I still had the one from 1995.
Yeah.
But I had the original LOD set too. But now I had both sets. So I was like, cool. I can change them out, whatever. They got yeah, the Bone Crunchers for me were the wrestling action figure.
Nice. Yeah, see, that's all, like, by that time I was through high school and moving on and, doing the scene at that point. So, none of that. Some of these are, like, this one was originally mine, but, I've got most of the ones I've collected, they disappeared over time and we beat the hell out of them. This one was originally mine too. So I had a couple originals left, but, as far as wrestling goes, all of them are like, again, garage sale finds and eBay finds and stuff that I've got on the way, right? It's all, King Kong Bundy. I got Junkyard Dog in here. I got
that's just shit you find you're not even really looking for.
Yep.
That's the funny thing about the way that I do it is for years I wasn't looking for it. We just go out there and do whatever, and then as soon as you start looking for it, they all dry up. They're gone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm very much a shop, and if I see it, I get it. Yeah. If I see it and I'm like, ooh, I could use that or something like that, or like, ooh, I've been wanting that for years.
Yeah.
I don't look for particular, except records. I'll look for records.
Yep. That too. Can you tell?
Yeah. Yeah. Mine are down here on the floor, but I get the idea. Yeah.
I got these ones. I got some over here. I got some of the other. Yeah. I got.
Dude, I just ordered a whole fucking bunch more. Like I need them.
I'm about to get you hooked. Then, if you're a record collector, I'm about to get you hooked. I'll invite you into some of the groups that I'm in, but I do these online. They're waffles because you can't say the R word on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically these guys put up. I mean, shit. I got a whole stack, 2 shelves full of records sitting over here that I won in these waffles.
Yeah, my boss used to do them. He used to do waffles for like toys.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that going on. But
the
record, I can't believe some of the stuff that I've collected. Just like $1 a spot. Okay, give me 10 spots. nuts. And then you pull a $35 record out of it, and it's like, holy shit.
Yep.
Well, it balances out because I just dropped $40 on a punk waffle and didn't get shit out of it.
Yeah.
At the local record store. A Horace Pinker 7-inch. Like, come on. But like this particular crate that I just pulled up is all 45s and 7-inches. All right.
This is my latest.
And it's stuffed, and I just keep adding to it.
This is my latest 7-inch pull, 2-in-1, and then I pulled that one out of another. Oh, you're gonna do that? I told you we would get off topic. Don't make me pull my other box.
There goes my camera.
Don't even get me started.
Well, no, you pulled out.
That's a different show.
That's another story for another show. But
you got the box.
You pulled out that rancid. Yep.
Jeez, man.
It looks like a lunchbox, but it's not. I swear.
Yeah.
It's every album up until Let the Dominoes Fall on 7-inch.
They put that up in a waffle recently, and it was too much for my blood. I just couldn't get in it.
Paid $160 for this.
Yeah.
Pirate Press record.
Yeah, I think mine's a Pirate Press too, but it's the leather. It's got the leather strap around it. Yep.
I numbered them, so I didn't lose track.
Yeah. See, here he is with his unboxing shit, numbering records. All right.
Okay. Getting back to action figures.
Yeah, right.
Who's next? Who wants to go next there?
Well, as a kid, I was like, G.I. Joe was, G.I. Joe, other than, my dad originally had the old, what are they, like 14-inch figures or whatever they were, like the original pieces. My dad had them, and they all got thrown away at some point. But when the new stuff launched, when all the little ones launched, I mean, that was my time. Yeah, see, I think I have that one here somewhere. But that was, for me, that was the big thing. And I always had little pieces. I always had, like the Mobat tank was the first thing that I ever got. My favorite was the Snowcat, the Frostbite. That came out. I played with that daily. Like, that was the big one. And in fact, one time I even recovered the big hovercraft carrier that was it was floating in our riverbed. Like, somebody had let it go in a riverbed. But it was trash, by that point. Who knows down the riverbed. But, like recently my mom calls me up, and that's where some of this stuff came from. She calls me up and she goes, "Hey, get all this toy crap. You want it or not?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" Box. And I swear and there's another box in here, but that one's all in pieces. These are the ones mostly I've put back together. But I mean, it was literally just, these things were falling apart. The bands had fallen apart. And so I ordered some rubber bands, and I just started putting them back together. I kind of taught myself how to refurbish. And I don't know where, some of these are fairly decent, like hard to find pieces. Yeah,
they are.
And somewhere, and I couldn't find him, I've got the original Sergeant Slaughter. Joe in the plastic. I just don't know where he ended up, but he's here somewhere. And I just, it blows my mind that my mom even had these, but like some of the old like Cobra Commander.
Oh yeah.
I always wanted that aircraft carrier. That USS flag was like rail. And my mom's like, where the fuck are you gonna put a 7-foot toy? It's just
We'll find a place, Mom. I'm telling you.
80s. I'm sharing a room with my brother, and it's a $200 and something 7-foot aircraft carrier. She's like, no, not.
How I was with Hot Wheels. I always wanted the big long ones that you had to tap all the way throughout the house.
Yeah, I think my brother and I had we had the mobile unit where they had the Fortress, and we used to use that pretty frequently. But as far as G.I. Joe went, man, that USS flag was a topic of a lot of, you're in trouble now. I couldn't stop talking shit. But yeah, no, G.I. Joe was kind of my thing for a lot of years. And even though, Star Wars came, I was born the year the first Star Wars came out. So really, I didn't latch onto that until later on. But G.I. Joe pretty well filled what I had.
Yeah.
At the young age. So.
Yeah, my uncle had a lot of those that you just showed us. And I'm pretty sure they're still in possession of my grandparents.
No.
the great grandkids, they'll still take out the old toy box.
Yeah.
We give my mom garbage because we had like all of that was in a box. The Mobat, the Snowcat, it was all in a box, and it was this big, huge like appliance box or something, and everything got put in the box and put up in the garage when we got a little bit older. And when we went back to go and get it, she's like, "No, we didn't throw anything away. No, we never got rid of anything." Mom, there's no fucking box up there. Like it's literally not here. And my dad's sitting in the quiet. So I know damn well where I went. I went to a garage sale, but it was so disheartening because we had every single piece that we'd ever got was in that box.
Yeah.
Somehow we managed to keep the figures. That's like the last. I got 2 shoe boxes of the last remaining pieces.
Well, hey, at least you have those.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
At least you have those.
Yep.
Gregor, what about you?
Me? I like Madballs. That's number 5 for me. Madballs. We even got this one that I just picked up recently.
Yeah, you get a lot.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They were so cool because they were pretty common and pretty cheap, and you could do anything with them. You could smack anybody with them.
Yep.
I love Madballs.
That's why I didn't have too many. I used to chuck the shit out of them at my brother.
Yeah.
When you can cause physical harm without any prejudice, that's all that matters.
It's just a ball, Mom. We play baseball.
Yeah, it's just a ball.
All the time.
It's not really going to leave a mark because it's kind of soft. It doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah, Madballs did. Madballs did because the early iteration of them.
It depends who was throwing them.
Yeah, but the paint that was on them,
Oh,
I mean, you could squish them, but the paint, they caked that fucking paint on so thick.
Yeah, this boy does not squish at all.
They hurt. I remember that too well.
Yeah, the new ones are a lot softer and squishier, but those originals, man, you get beamed upside the head with one of them, you're done.
And they moved on to the football size ones after a while too. So instead of just having baseball size ones, you had the ones with the points on the end.
Yep.
Yep, I remember that. Those ones did hurt.
Ah, my eye. I'm not supposed to get footballs in it.
All right. Next one for me, probably. I had this one, and I loved it because interchangeable parts. I love playing with toys. It's just fun. It's meant to be played with. I'm going to play with Lego. I'm a Lego fiend, But this was the Batman Forever Batmobile playset. If you remember, you could turn it. It was a Batmobile. Then you take the wheels off, turn it into the Batboat, and then you could turn it into the Batwing. Yep, right there.
Oh yeah.
That's the box that it came in. It shows all the parts and stuff. But
Yep. There you go.
I had a lot of fun with that. It came out when I was 5.
Yeah, I think it was around 8 or 9 when this one came out. So, yeah, probably
93, 94.
Yep.
And so, I'm still a huge dork for Batman movies. So, I like action figures that coincide with Batman movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are babies compared to me then.
I was born in '83.
You guys were younger, but
I'm perpetually the youngest person on screen on this show.
Yeah, and I only got him by like 4 years.
Even our pick group, like I'm in there and I'm like, man, there's no way I'm one of the older ones. I think Johnny's the only one that's older than me.
But Johnny's either just turned 50 or is almost 50.
He just hit 50, I think. Or yeah, you're right. He either just hit 50 or he's about to be 50. But yeah, and I'm at 45 in May, and I'm like second in command. I think unless Chef.
I just turned 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, we cover all generations.
You're the same age as my youngest brother. So yeah. And I got along with him. The other one I didn't get along with till about 10 years ago. So.
That's what I'm saying, man. I got an uncle who's your age, And
Yeah.
he's the reason I am the way I am. Like, he's the reason I listen to the music that I listen to, and the way I carry myself the way I do, the reason I have tattoos, all that
There
stuff.
you go.
That's my Uncle Chuck. But,
yeah, I can't attribute anything to any family members. I kind of did my own thing.
that was Uncle Chuck. He was the black sheep up until me and my sister were born. Then now there's just like 5 of us in the whole family.
Wow.
Yeah. But we all get along. It's all good.
No, that's good.
But yeah, that Batmobile, I love that thing. Because I had a bunch of different Batman figures that I would put into it. And they were the Batman figures you could turn into Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take his outfit off and just Bruce. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Always have, which is why I buy these NECA figures, changeable heads. Speaking of which,
yeah, going backwards. I mean, I feel like I just keep going back in time because, and then I go back in time, and like for me, this is not my original Grayskull. I think the original one was in the box with the Star Wars that got disappeared. Now it had all the pieces and everything. And this was this was a swap meet find. I paid $2 for this one, and it's got literally nothing. It's just the bones, so it's just for show. This was originally mine, and the breastplate still kind of works, so he still got the but this was the bust open break, and then I think I might have paid a little more to have the cat, but it was Snake Mountain that I didn't have. It was, but Mom, I have the castle. I gotta have Snake Mountain too.
Yeah.
No. So I found it the other day and I was so stoked. And I showed James, I finally got my Snake Mountain, and it's not the one that I'd originally gone for. But I did get my Snake Mountain. So the new Funko release, I finally got
awesome.
my. So
yeah.
I saw that one at Walmart today.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
I never go to Walmart. And I just happened, I think I stopped to use the bathroom, and I was like, oh, well, I'm here. I'll go check the Funkos. And so I went back and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I almost dropped $50 because they had She-Ra with the unicorn too. And I thought, no, we'll do this one at a time. But I have like, digging back into the box. It's kind of funny, and I won't pull them all out. But I do have like some of my original pieces.
Yeah.
Is that a Predator, man? Are you unboxing already? Yeah, here he goes. So I just through like swap meet and stuff, I ended up pulling, and I'm gonna, just like I did with the GI Joes, I'm gonna have to, like, some of these I'm gonna have to like get in there with the rubber bands and kind of redo them, because if I redo the rubber bands on some of these, like this one, we get the spin action.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have almost have a girlfriend. Yeah. So the Masters of the Universe we had a lot of. That was the other big one for us, other than G.I. Joe.
Yeah, He-Man was another one for my uncle. Like, he got me into the action figures. Like, I wasn't really into the show too much because I couldn't really watch it in syndication.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it, I should say. Like, it was on, but I just could never find it. I was never really looking for it. But the toys I always loved playing with. Like, always, like, She-Ra and all that stuff.
I think it only ran to, like, what, 86 maybe? Something close to that. I know there's...
The original series was only a couple years, and then it was out. And it's funny. My wife and I actually were having a conversation the other day about the difference between, like, even now and then with marketing is, I think my generation was the first generation where all of these toy companies were like, well, shit, let's make a TV show.
Yeah.
That TV show will sell the toys. Like, McDonald's Happy Meals really got their big bust when I was little, because I remember the first ones coming out and I was going, oh shit, we got to go to McDonald's. Oh, you want a cheeseburger? No, I want the fucking toy. Like, I don't care about the cheeseburger. Yeah, I'll eat it because I got to eat, but oh, hey, Mom, we got to go to McDonald's next week because the G.I. Joe Happy Meal toys released. And so that, as a marketing guy, I didn't realize it then. And I didn't even get into marketing until I was way, way older. But now I look back and I go, that was absolute genius that either a toy company would create a cartoon or a cartoon would latch onto the toys. And my wife laughed and she goes, it's the whole reason most advertising directly to kids these days is illegal because, it was such a push.
Yeah.
And such a...
But it was an entertaining push. I mean, it worked. It's not like they didn't give back to everything they were taking from toy money. You know what I mean? Like, there were some real classy episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the stuff we love, but it was, I mean, from a corporate standpoint, it was a little sleazy the way they were doing it. For us. And I think and my wife kind of blames my addiction on that fact, but I have my toys.
Yeah. I have my toys.
Yeah, I have my toys. And I will always, she goes, I can't wait till the day you die and I can just open the door and have a free fall.
Oh, man. Why don't we cut to a break now and then we'll come in and finish up?
Cool.
Yeah.
You good?
Yep.
All right.
So just the other day, my dad says, hey guys, let's have pizza. Then he asked me what I want on the pizza. So I said, everything. Lots of cheese, pepperoni, spaceships, cars, balls, a helicopter, mushrooms, slides, sauce, ski balls, race cars, robots, games, hoops, a mouse. You know, the works. They got the picture.
Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid.
We thought we were following the dinosaurs. But we ended up making tracks.
The Lost World Jurassic Park.
We were out to capture a raptor in our net trapper when suddenly a bull T-Rex. His roar shook right through us. Fire! That's when the bull T-Rex got keyed off. Dino damage! Even the survival pod couldn't save us from his bone-crunching jaws.
Something has survived. Look for the mark of Jurassic Park figures and vehicles, each sold separately.
We didn't stop talking about figures during the break. But yeah, I got Predator out of the box. He's breathing. We're good to go. There's his other head.
That is awesome.
One of my favorite movies came with his mask. When he takes the head off, or takes his mask off and throws it on the ground and out the heads or whatever. The skull, one of his trophies.
Yeah.
Skull and spine. Because, of course, you got a couple of hands and then shoulder-mounted cannon. It just pops right on here. And you can put them up, display them, whatever. But yeah, that's Predator.
Yeah.
So Craig, what's next on your list, bud?
Next on my list, you may think this is a burger. But let me tell you something, pal.
Oh, I know exactly what that is.
Come on, you son of a...
It's another one of those still at my grandparents' house.
This is not a burger.
Yep.
McDonald's toys, I think, were the greatest. I don't even think Burger King could even try and beat them out when it came back to them. I don't even think there was a competition.
McDonald's had the money. That was for sure.
100%.
And these little guys left?
Oh my God, I had those too. I had the White Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't say he was a White Ranger. Why not? Those Power Rangers, I remember you couldn't get them in the Happy Meal.
Yeah. You had to buy them separately. Yep.
But you could only get them at McDonald's.
I don't know if it's an original, if he was one of the original, but with the Power Rangers, I mean, this is diverting from the action figures a little bit from the TV show. One of the guys, and I think he played a red Power Ranger at some point. My wife used to groom his dogs. The guy went from Power Rangers into porn, into driving a party bus that had like 2 stripper poles in the party bus. Like, and he was on MTV's, like, they did a show about his party bus on MTV.
Wow.
She's like, yeah, I know this porn star. I'm like, you know what?
I know there's a former Power Ranger that ended up like killing his girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah, this isn't him. That's not him.
No.
Yeah.
But
that's funny. I keep telling the story about Mark Gator because it's kind of the same, you know, the skateboarder Mark Gator. I don't know if that's too
I've heard
for your time. Yeah, Mark Gator was like huge, and I had the board, and he was a pool skater in the 80s, and he ended up chopping his girlfriend up and throwing her in bags, putting it on the porch or on the curb.
Fucking A.
Yeah, I think a Red Ranger was charged with murder too.
Not the original or anything.
No, not the original, but one of them down the line.
One of the later ones, yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
But
and you, Red Ranger.
The Transformer burger. When Transformers were like when they joined up with McDonald's to do those toys.
Yeah,
my uncle got all.
I want that entire set. I want the milkshake and the fries and everything.
I had the fries. I don't need more fries.
Yeah, they also they released a dinosaur version of them, like the changeable cups and everything, but they were dinosaurs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Yep.
That was a whole different series though. It was like Dinobots or like there was some other or like a split off or something. But yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
That's wild. Yeah, those McDonald's Transformers, my uncle, I'm pretty sure he had all of them. I remember playing with them when I was a little kid at my grandparents' house. They were again in the toy box, in the old toy box. There was one of those old steel cars. Remember those?
Yep.
Yep.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. The McDonald's Happy Meal Transformer toys. Those are fucking cool.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, you're gonna pull them up?
Yes, I am. There we go.
Okay.
These guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Those are.
I love how he was still like a half.
Those are the Dino ones. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember the blue guy.
Yeah, that's the Dino series there.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember the blue one, but the Transformer ones were the ones I really remember.
Yeah.
And then you had the ones like they're like the little McNugget toys.
Yep. Yeah, they had like Halloween ones. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think it was maybe mid 90s, they gave you those Halloween buckets too. They had like a red ghost, a witch, and like a pumpkin, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I think that was earlier than the mid 90s that they did the buckets.
Was it?
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, because I had them as a kid too, and by the mid 90s, I wouldn't have given a shit.
No, yeah, that's true. Maybe they were earlier.
Yeah, they brought those out, but they did them for a lot of years where they would. You'd have the box all year, but then you'd hit Halloween and they'd put everything in the plastic bucket for the Happy Meal. And you used to get when I was little, we used to go to McDonald's for dinner before we'd go trick or treating. You'd end up with like a certificate for a free French fries or a free ice cream.
I do remember. Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the best place to trick or treat. Little toys, I'll take the fries. So that's moving into James, not me.
Line jumper.
Yep.
Let's go back forward.
Next on my list is Pogs.
Pogs.
I'm sure everybody remembers Pogs.
Yep.
Nope, not a clue. Don't remember them.
They were special.
I don't remember them at all.
Yeah. These weren't mine. I wish that I had a collected.
No, looking at this is like really like a step back in time. That Poison Eyes one, I believe that was pretty common because I almost remember having one of that one.
I had the Michael Jordan one where he's jumping here.
Mm.
And I believe I had this Mortal Kombat one with just the dragon. I didn't Like the Liu Kang and Scorpion I didn't have, but the Dragon Head I did.
Yeah.
The ones that are missing in that stack though were the plastic holographic ones, the ones that had the slammers. Yeah, the slammers.
Yeah, the slammers.
I believe the other picture has some slammers in it, Craig, if you want to pull that one. I did send him another picture. This one actually has more from what I had in my collection that I recall.
My dad's always been a State Farm agent, and everybody jumped on board. And it was funny because my dad showed up one day at home with State Farm pogs.
Oh, shit.
And I don't have any of those left because we all kind of got those from my dad. And it was like, oh, yeah, cool, thanks. See ya.
Yeah.
Just want to zoom in here.
Who the fuck cares about those?
All right, I don't see any slammers. This ornate looking one on top of Krusty's Clown might be one.
Yeah, that might be a slammer.
Yeah, that might be.
These really are like a trip back though, because I remember a lot of these.
Like, I had the 8-ball here. I had the Sailor Jerry looking tattoo thing on top of the 8-ball.
Yeah.
I had the Skull of Death and the Bart Simpson one.
Wow.
Yeah, and I believe I had Sideshow Bob as well.
Sideshow Bob.
But yeah. Pogs. Now, this is really like going to show how young I am. I was in daycare at the age of 6 when I started playing with those things and started collecting them.
I was in 3rd grade.
Collecting them about 12.
Yeah. I think I was in 3rd grade when they really started like booming. That whole summer was about Pogs.
And it went for a couple of years too.
It did go for it went for a couple of
played
years.
For keeps.
And then they what were those other ones called that like kind of took Pogs' place? Remember what were they, like Beyblades or something? You'd like shoot them into the ring and they'd like fight each other.
Yeah, those came along a little bit later though.
Was it?
Yeah, I know what Craig's talking about though. It wasn't the Beyblade and it wasn't the BattleBots, but they were like discs. They were so it wasn't like a robot or anything like that. It was like Pogs, but they were more of a disc that you would fire in. So that's probably where Beyblade them came from, was that first.
Yeah, but I think the thing that you fired him into was special. It was kind of like an air hockey table.
It was like a rounded out.
Yeah.
We used to use
like a rounded out air hockey table almost.
Yeah.
Beyblades came along later and they had like a ripcord.
Yeah.
I know these just had like
stepkids played with those.
These had like tongs and you'd like
it was like
a tong.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yeah, those were another one that you played for keeps on.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Down memory.
So yeah, Pog. I remember my slammer that I used for every game was the Power Rangers Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
See, and I had the plastic 8-ball, like the 8-ball that was in that picture, but mine was plastic.
Yeah, the hard plastic.
Yeah.
It had it had that rainbow sheen on top of it. Yeah, that's the one that I always used.
Yeah, I had a Frankenstein one, and I still have it around here somewhere. I don't know where it is at the moment. It's somewhere in this collection here. But I do still have a slammer.
Yeah, how many times do you actually say that? Because I know how often I say that. I mean, I know roughly how often. It's in this collection here.
All the time. It should be around here somewhere. Oh, look under there.
Now, I'm going to make a bunch of 90s kids cry when I tell this next story. Because I went to my mother's house when I was moving some stuff, and I went over there because I have a bunch of stuff over there yet, right? And I start looking through my old room. I was like, Mom, where's my Pog collection? This was about 7 years ago. And she goes, what are you talking about? I was like, those little cardboard discs, that big bag that I had. And she goes, oh, I threw them away. I was like, what?
What?
I almost broke down crying. I was 27 years old in the middle of my mom's house over Pogs.
That's how I felt at 20-something, hearing that my G.I. Joes were all gone.
Well, you get it.
I get it. I still kind of get teary-eyed to this day. It's like, God, man.
and like, now I just have to scour eBay for something and try to find a collection that was similar to mine.
I go on Mercari a lot. That's like my go-to when I'm going online. Mercari has a lot of cool shit.
I
There's James, you talked about coming out here. And I think it's just about every weekend now, every other weekend, there's a big show. There's a big Frankensons show that they do out here, and it's just collectibles. It's a warehouse full of collectible vendors, and I mean it's supposed to be. And I haven't been out there yet, but my buddy's like, dude, my buddy's a huge Batman fan. He's like, you gotta go. Like one of these days we just gotta go because everything under the sun. He's comics, toys, everything retro and vintage, and it's all.
Well, I'll tell you what. Whenever I plan out my trip, I'll let you know, and we'll set it up and we'll go there.
We'll do it. Yeah, he's itching to get me out there. We'll all go together.
Fuck yeah.
That'd be awesome.
We'll have some beers along the way at some point.
Well, you'd get a kick out of my buddy. He's a musician, and he's one of them. No kidding. No, he's been in like at this moment in time, I think he's in like 8 bands. And
I haven't been on stage in over 10 years.
This guy opened for the Misfits. He's got punk rock history. I mean, he's just, and he'll be on the Pit eventually. So you'll get a taste of him later. But he's like, you walk into his house, it's not as bad as mine, but like he's got one room that's just Batman, everything, everywhere you look. Then you walk in his bedroom and it's all Hello Kitty. Like he's obsessed with Hello Kitty. So it's like he's got this contrast, dark and light.
What? All right.
But it's not like a weird thing. It's something I think he associates it with his kids probably. Like it's just
probably.
He's got a bunch of daughters and a son. And
that's it.
Fall into it somehow. One of his latest tattoos is Jigglypuff. He's a huge Pokemon fan too. So you never know, right?
Matt, what you got next for?
Man, I was obsessed with more of a smaller, obscure. I think I mentioned to you just a little bit ago, a Kenner kicked out the Mask line. And Mask to me was like, it was cool because it was G.I. Joe and it was Hot Wheels, but it was all on a micro level, you brought it all down. And this is the only one that I didn't even
oh man,
found this one at a swap meet again, like for next to nothing.
Yeah.
And had 2 of the little, like, I don't even think he's the original driver. Maybe he is. Yeah, that one. And then I'd die if I could find the tank that this guy drives. But, these 3 pieces were all for a couple bucks.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, man, even now, like I go look, you talk about eBay and all that. You can't find Mask toys. They're one of the hardest toys to find. And I think it was because they only launched them for like 2 years. There were 2 or 3, maybe 3 like series of these, and the TV show lasted all of 1 season. And it was just, for some reason it flopped. But to me, they were like, it was that perfect mix of everything that was going on at the time. Knight Rider was big, and Back to the Future was big, and Hot Wheels and G.I. Joe and Star Wars, and they put it all into one thing. A-Team had a little bit of all of that all in one. And to me, it was like, I tried to clamor to get all those, and for some reason it was one of those toys I never got. You ask for it and you ask for it, but something else comes along and that one never. So when I found that hot rod, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like I had pieces as a kid and that was it. And I'd always pined for them. So I found this one, and even like I go eBay everywhere now looking for them, and they're super hard to find.
Yeah, and then if you can find them, they're always like really fucking expensive
or trashed. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, which I'll take trashed. I mean, I'll pay very little for a trashed version and just go, look what I got.
It's well played with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some kid loved this toy.
It's.
But yeah, no, Mask was just, I watched all the episodes and I had my little pieces and that was it. And it's one of those that to this day, like if I ever come across one, it's probably one of the ones I'm going to have a hard time justifying what I'm going to spend on it, but I'm still going to spend it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Craig, what you got next?
I'd be a fool not to mention these guys right here.
Oh yeah.
Turtles. I'd be an idiot not to mention them.
Yeah.
I got that one. These are like my top 2 prizes. I have a few, but I still have Sailor Mikey. His parrot is here.
I had Cowboy Raph.
Yeah. He's in pretty good condition too, all things considered. He's still got his parrot and his swab and everything, and
Nice.
but that was my big collecting item. That was when I like started hoarding toys, was turtles. I was a little too young for He-Man. I mean, I watched it. I was a fan, but like I didn't really get the concept of, oh my God, toys until Turtles came. Like, you know, I had He-Man and stuff like that, but like their line is so out there. Like any villain you could ever think of in the Turtles is out there somewhere. And they had a lot of villains.
Now, Craig, do you remember the mutating figures?
Yes.
The one they were like little baby turtles, and then you transformed them into the ninja, right?
Yep.
And then you had like a shredder. They had a shredder. They had two different shredders, I think. One was like the drill thing that went into the earth. The other one was a human that, like, it was a Rokusaki, dressed him up like Shredder. And then there was a Splinter too.
Yep.
Okay.
Hold on, because since you're talking about them, hold on one second.
I had a giant version of like Donatello. It was huge. It was like 18 fucking inches. And then I had like all the little ones.
Where is he? Yeah. And I won't go digging too.
You have a bucket full of turtles.
I have a bucket full of turtles. I found more in the box over here. Oh, but like, I'm looking at like original.
You got a bucket full of turtles.
Yeah.
I literally have a bucket. It's one of those like popcorn tins from the 80s.
Like the 80s Christmas popcorn tin.
I've got original Leonardo, who's still got his.
Damn. Oh man.
Got the swords.
I mean, we've got, you know, Splinter. I know where the original Shredder.
Yep, I have the original Shredder. Yeah.
Donatello's back here. I mean, and then I mean, because my little brother was into him, and he just didn't want to keep him. He didn't want to move on with them. I actually have two of these. I had to send one to you, Craig, but I've got like double hit on the baseball rack.
I had one of those too.
I mean, the collection goes deep. It's like, you know, Investigator Donatello.
Yeah,
and, you know,
I had Investigator Donatello.
Had the turtle.
Like, yeah, I have him too. Cowabunga Mikey.
God,
I had
like four of those figures you just showed me.
Like I can't. Like I've got this. When they came out with this,
I have him.
I
had him.
This one's got the voice box, and there were so many. You're right. There were so many. Like when you went into like vendors or villains and like all the extensions of it, it was so deep. Like there's the Michael Jordan.
Since you were talking about the changeables, though, there he is.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
That one right there. You can turn him into a human, right?
Yep.
I had that one, and I also had Toka and Razor.
I
had April O'Neil. Like, you turned her into a leopard for whatever fucking reason. April O'Neil was a leopard. I don't.
I think I have more turtles than anything because it was one of those that I collected when they first came out. My next closest brother collected.
Are you changing them up, Craig?
What's that?
Are you changing them up?
I'm trying to. Yeah, it's been a while.
You want to be very careful so they don't snap and break.
Yeah.
And it's like,
even my younger
we're
brother.
So fucking old. It's been so long since we played with them. It's like, how do you do this again?
Speak for yourself. I'm in here all the time. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But even my little brother that was your age, James, he was into them too. That's why I have like from the first series to like all the way out, because both of my brothers are like, that stuff is shit. I don't want it in my house.
Right.
I'm like, that stuff is not shit. Bring it here. So,
one man shits, another man's treasure. But
it can raise
net
worth with cash.
The Turtles are one of those franchises that spans time. There he is.
That's cool.
Oh man. But yeah, the Turtles, they span time because that first movie came out when? 89, 90?
89, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was 89, 88, 89, I thought, yeah.
And like the comics and the cartoons were at their peak at that point.
Yeah.
And then you got the 90s cartoon. Then you had
actually, it's funny because they were based on the comic, But then once the show started, the comic just kind of like fell off into the background, even though like it created all of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once the show started, the comic kind of fell by the wayside, and the show and the movies took over.
Yep.
They did continue.
But the toys.
I've seen 90s turtle comics that are, but it's not even close to
Kevin Eastman sells them a lot. He does a lot of like auctions and raffles and stuff like that. He's still very active, and he has like anything you could ever think of. He's like, look what I got my hands on. Well, of course, you're Kevin Eastman.
You're the fucking creator.
And that NES game, the NES game of it all was iconic too. I mean, that was like, when that came out, I was like, holy shit, you can get in the vehicle and drive the vehicle, but then you can go out and go in a building and actually do like a platform level. And it was that, I think that was probably the first one that I remember them really like exploring, mixing the different worlds of games. Master Blaster did it, and Goonies kind of did it, but the Turtles was the one. Like that was the one that had it all.
Yeah.
So for sure. Yeah, I remember the mutating figures. The ones that were differently dressed up, like the Detective Donnie. All those. I had a bunch of those.
They did so many different themes.
Yeah, when Turtles 3 came out, they had the samurai figures.
Yep.
And I want to say it was Leonardo, but it could have been Michelangelo. He squeezed their legs, and the helmet came up and wrapped around their head.
Yeah, and then they brought out the ones that came along.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like all these villains and like sidekicks, and if they were on the show, they were automatically a toy. Like it was just so vast.
Even if it was for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, there are so many fucking turtle toys out there because of that. Like the line is so extensive.
I mean, even just looking in this box, it's like, I mean, they had the whole like even like 80s skater line, like the gecko.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I mean, I could keep digging in this and telling and showing it, but like it does. It's kind of mind blowing when you go through it and go, holy shit! It was like so many iterations of the show and the toys and the unbelievable.
Yeah, and then there was that live action show too.
Yeah,
that was a good one. I liked it. Everybody hates it, but I love that show. I'm not even with the what was her name? Venus de Milo. Yeah. The first female turtle.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Good times. The turtle.
With turtles, yeah.
Seriously, those toys were sick though. I love them all.
They were good stuff.
Yep.
Matt, the last thing you were talking about, the last toy you were talking about, you said you had never had it and you always wanted it.
The what? The mask?
Yeah.
I had a few.
Like when you were Right. But like they were just really hard to find and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's one for me that I never had, but I always wanted it. A couple of friends of mine had it. And that's the Terminator 2 BioFlesh Regenerator. I always wanted it because you take the little endoskeleton, put it in the thing, press a button, and voila. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Peel it off. All over.
See, I had stuff like that too, but they were all Hot Wheels. You mold your own Hot Wheels.
I remember that.
Yeah, I wanted those too.
Yeah,
I wanted those too because I love that. It's shit that's meant to be played with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love that kind of stuff.
I think the closest I ever got was the Hot Wheels like car wash that actually.
I didn't even have that. My friend got it for his birthday, and I begged him if I could play with it.
But the water was so bad, we all got calcium destroyed anyway. So.
Yep. It's like that McDonald's do-it-yourself at home drive-through kit. Oh. My God.
Yeah, those were
many.
The mold your own, and that one too, the Terminator. I do remember that coming out. Just the fact that you could like put the skeleton in it, not just because the Hot Wheels one was really just it molded out of wax or whatever it was, but with the Terminator one, there was something inside.
And you could peel it off and repeat the process.
Yeah, you could recreate parts of the movie by just peeling off part of the face or just part of the arm, and there was the
You could even paint that stuff up because it's gonna get like you're just throwing it away. You peel it off because you can't reuse it once it gets to a certain point. I mean, I'm sure you could, like if you melted it down or something. But like, eh. But here's the thing: I found that set on eBay and today, like yesterday, and it was like $180. And I was just like,
so when did it get there?
I didn't order it. I can't justify it right now. I gotta move.
Yeah.
Damn it. I will have the BioFlesh regenerator.
Damn adulting.
By the time I'm 35, I'm giving myself till January 2023. There we go.
Just every paycheck, you just pack a 10 away, or you pack a 20 away, and then as soon as it's there, fucking.
I started door dashing now, so hopefully here in a couple weeks.
There you go. Just be super sweet and get that tip.
Just be quick. Just be super quick about it.
Yep.
I don't have to interact with customers too much.
Yeah. Especially right now, it's just door drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
just got to take a picture of it.
I opened the door on accident on a woman delivering here the other night, and she was on the phone and holding the food, and she looked at me like I was the fucking devil. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Who the hell do you think you are, pal?
She's on the phone, not speaking English, but looking at me like I know exactly what you're saying about me right now.
I know some of those words.
I smiled, I thanked her, I upped the tip.
Yesterday, I had to drop off some food up this backcountry road, not too far up, but thank God. It was like when it told me the address of this place, I was like, oh no.
Banjos in the background.
It's one of those roads, yeah, for sure. And I grew up down the street from this place, so like I know this area really well. And I was just like, I really don't feel like driving all that way. Luckily, it was just like right at the beginning of the road, but still, I get to the house, take the food up on the porch, set it in front of the door, and I look up, and there's two hands on the door, like on the window, and I was just like, hey! I could hear somebody laughing on the other side. I'm like, you just scared the shit out of me. Don't do that. My God, you told me to leave it at the door. That doesn't mean like poltergeist to me. You know what I mean? But hey, it's money that I need. So if I'm just gonna shit my pants a little bit, it's worth it.
Yeah, I might just take on a DoorDash or something just so I can raise some more toy money. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
This is fine. It pays the bills.
I need spending money, and maybe if I do it enough, and I'm good at it, I can get out of the kitchen. Shitty pipe dream, but hey, it's a dream. That's all.
That's all that counts.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you have next?
Well, my kind of last on my list here that I really have is, this one's probably the oldest out of everything I've brought up. But the Star Wars toys were even predated the G.I. Joe for me. You know, it was you have, and I'd bring it down, but I'll bring it down anyway. I got these little. My buddy found me you remember the little green army man? He found me little green skateboarders.
Oh yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about now, but. You know, the swap meet find of the year was this, and had this, and I actually found the top a separate trip in a box by itself. And I found, and it's funny because I now recognize I can dig through a box of somebody's crap, and I do it frequently. And I found the plate floor that goes on the inside in another trip. So this was 3 different trips, just putting these pieces together. And then at some point, I got super lucky. My mom had not gotten rid of Chewbacca, which I still had. But I found Han in another box with the blaster. So, of course, if you're going to send the Falcon out, you got to have the drivers. Over time, digging through boxes that either came from my mom or that I'd put away, I found even more, like this guy. And I mean, I have like originals, like the Boba Fett.
Wow.
He still got the pack.
Got the rocket.
Little Lando action.
Okay, Billy D.
The first Luke that was released. Actually, that's the Empire Luke. I think there's actually one other that was released before him.
The yellow Luke.
Yeah. I wish I had the rest of the accessories, but even my Stormtrooper turned yellow because that's how old these are.
Yeah.
And then Luke is a fighter pilot. So,
yeah.
but the I have done my research to learn the proper way to say it. But the one that I missed, growing up was the AT-AT. And, apparently there was for some time debate over whether it's the AT-AT or the AT-AT. And Lucasfilm made a statement that it is pronounced the way that it's read in a book. So it is officially AT-AT. And I never had it. But man, because Empire Strikes Back was the first one that I really remember seeing. And then obviously I went back and watched the first one later on as I got older. But and Return of the Jedi was even deeper for me because I was at the age where when it came out, it was that was it, man. Like everything was Return of the Jedi at that point. But the AT-AT was the one that I never got. And there was all the other ones too, the Death Star and everything else that was put out. But I didn't care about any of those. I wanted that fucking big stand-up toy. So some years back, there was an article.
36-year-old fella that I knew growing up. I remember an AT-AT sitting up on his shelf.
Yep. Can I play with it?
I know where you can find one in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I really wanted to right now, there's somewhere you could find one of those because they weren't. I mean, those were mass produced. They were fairly easy, and it's going to be costly, but they're out there. They're attainable.
They're just.
I think it's just not one of those that I'm in a hurry to add to the collection. If the right moment comes along, I would jump on it, but that one I wouldn't. I don't know that I'd rush out for, but. And I even collected. I've got a box somewhere above my head that's got a lot of the Phantom Menace. When Phantom Menace first came out, I grabbed up and I learned a lot about make sure you get the one that has the .001 in the serial because those were the first edition. If you got the .002, it was worthless. But if you got the 01, you had the original. So I got a box full of those up there somewhere, and some of the Shadows stuff and things like that. But
yeah,
a lot of this stuff came on later, so I didn't. But yeah, that was it, man. That ad was on the radar as a kid, so I wouldn't have taken care of it at all. I would have thrashed it. I was way too young to have something like that.
I get it. I totally understand. It's why it's hard for me to bring out any of the bone crunchers that I do have at my mom's because I just destroyed everything. Gregor?
Oh yeah, I'm digging down deep with
one more
Skeleton Warriors. Remember those guys?
Oh yeah,
I do remember them.
I didn't have many, but I had this guy and I had a few. I think I had this one at the end here. Man, they were amazing though.
I had the spider dude. I remember him.
Yeah. Talk about shows that just wanted to sell toys. There was that and Monster in my pocket and everything. That's all they wanted to do.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Biker Mice from Mars. Street Sharks.
Oh, another one. Yep. Street Sharks.
Street Sharks.
Yep. I remember Fish Face.
Yep.
Jeez.
Goodness. Yeah. That Skeleton Warriors. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's digging deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about some obscure. I mean, that's like me with I forgot to put on my list. That's probably my number 5 would have been those little muscle toys. I don't know if you remember the little pink muscle toys.
Yes, I do. I have some reprints of WWF ones.
Oh yeah, I had tons of those little things. Who knows where the hell?
Well, that was the same with Monster in my pocket. They were that freaking big.
A little bit, yeah.
But Craig, the one toy I had growing up was Mighty Max.
Yeah, I had a lot of Mighty Max.
Version of Polly Pocket, and I was just I knew.
Yep.
They were badass.
It was so interesting because something that small with a figure that big could keep you entertained for that long. You know what I mean? You had a toy that just opened up into this different world.
It was like a little world. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. But in fact, I believe you could find them on Amazon. And once we get done here, I'm gonna go shopping.
Yeah.
I need some Mighty Max in my life. But
I don't think I even know Mighty Max. That's
that would have been mid '90s.
Yeah, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
In like 94, 95 that they took off, I think.
Yeah.
That sounds about right, Gary.
Yep.
I graduated 95. I was doing much different.
Oh yeah, you were well past trying to get them.
I had other little things to play with, and most of them had things.
Yeah, I get it. But man, we talked about the old school shit today.
Yeah, we did.
And it was a nice break from the movie talk. We did sprinkle it in there.
We got a little in.
We sprinkled in a little bit, yeah, but
because it's
right.
we kind of had to, is for what it relates to. You know, a lot of these toys came from movies.
Yep.
Turtles toys, fucking.
Yep.
You didn't have many Predator toys growing up, but if we did, fucking A.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have had those too. You bet.
Now,
we did have lots of Alien toys.
We did have Alien.
We did have lots of Alien toys.
You say that about Turtles, but the Turtles didn't come from the movie. That one was
no. That came from the cartoon.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
No, but the toys I think even came before the cartoon, because the comic book, and then they pumped the toys.
Yeah, it was the comic book, then they pumped the toys, and then they made the show because the toys were doing so successful. Like,
right. But there are like Turtles toys based on the movies specifically.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I did have like the ones from the comics and the cartoons.
I like a lot of the NECA releases. They are doing fabulous with what they are releasing
speaking
lately.
Of NECA, yeah, this Predator's NECA.
Yeah, NECA is my favorite company of to date.
Dude, the fucking detail on these figures. Oh yeah, Buddy the Elf.
Staying in the box, by the way. He's not going anywhere.
Does he have interchangeable parts?
He has maple syrup, a snow globe, and it's a bag of spaghetti, but it sure as hell looks like a bag of weed. So,
and I can even go old school NECA when all that came with him was like a light up house.
Yeah, see, and I was telling James that I had I did a lot of the McFarlane.
Yeah,
but it was mostly baseball for me with McFarlane.
Oh yeah, I had a couple of those.
Yeah, so I have
I had Ken Griffey Jr.
When
I was a kid, he was all the rage.
It's funny you mentioned Griffey Jr. because here's an escape or an exotic Ken Griffey Jr. that probably should have brought out, but I found him recently, and I don't remember what they were called. I did unbox this one. He came with the box, but the box was trashed.
Right? Yeah,
and he comes with both you can have him, non-battle mode, so all his pieces do come out. He's got a regular baseball bat that you can put on, and all the pieces come off.
It just looks like he's playing street ball or something.
Yeah, this was a series that they put out. MLB put out with. God, I forget who. I swear I should have kept the box, even though it was no good. But they put it out, and there was a whole series of these guys that all had the battle gear. So it was kind of they were trying to bring the collectors in with the baseball, and I don't think it was very successful, but it works for me.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, that's great.
I would open that because interchangeable parts.
Yep. Man, was he a trip to watch though? Play ball.
Oh yeah.
So outside of my geekdom that I love, I was a huge baseball guy. So 89 All-Star game was held at Anaheim Stadium, and my dad got us tickets. And I swear to God, we were 3 rows from the very, very top of the stadium, literally behind the scoreboard. So you could see the field, but they have TVs up on the scoreboard because you could see the field, but you really couldn't see the field.
Yeah.
You could see the field, but not the players.
Yeah.
They were
if you were lucky.
I have the best photograph somewhere because I had my little 110 camera, and I we would take the binoculars and put the 110
well done
the binoculars and take the photo so that you could get the players. But that was the days of Griffey. Bo Jackson hit 2 home runs in that game. Mike Schmidt, back to back Bo Jakks and Mike Schmidt. So, I mean, I could geek out on baseball too, because that's just always been a part of me. But man, that game, like I look back, we met Bo Diddley. You remember the whole Bo Don't Know Diddley campaign?
Yeah.
We met Bo Diddley outside of the stadium, and he gave us a bunch of signs. They were handing out signs that said like Bo knows basketball and Bo knows baseball, and so we got a bunch of signs, and we're in the crowd holding up the signs from Bo.
Bo Diddley, my God, that's a name I didn't think we'd ever hear on this show.
Bo Diddley?
Yeah.
Or Bo Jakks?
Oh.
I can take you down a lot of roads. I'll just say that.
Oh, that's badass. You met Bo Diddley.
Yeah, it was fun.
Damn, Bo Diddley. Hell of a guitar player, that one.
Yeah, hell of a blues guitar.
Hell of a blues guitar.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Underrated, I think.
By far. Yeah, the only reason he got any kind of notoriety was because they did the whole Bo connection. But
and the song.
He was way better than what they gave him credit for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kind of a bummer.
Gentlemen, we covered a lot of ground as far as action figures today.
Yeah.
And toys in general.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
Yeah, we didn't even touch on modern, like the fucking Pop Funkos that are everywhere in front of my face.
Oh,
we
man.
did a little bit with the NECA stuff. But,
We did do the Skeletor Pop Funko, so I'll give it that one.
Yeah.
Just leave it. But I'm looking at my Dark Crystal, my reboot Dark Crystal Pop Funkos, and just thinking how much I love that series even.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna wrap her up for tonight.
Sweet.
So,
I
Matt,
think so.
thanks, man.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I'll give a little plug.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we maybe some of the watchers know, some of them don't, but we've started this new punk rock entertainment network, and it's called Rules of the Pit. And we started it not for any other reason other than a bunch of us decided it was just going to be a whole lot of fun to do some interviews with some icons and some new bands and bring some light into, the world that's become so much of us.
Yeah.
And so, we started out with, all right, how are we going to do this? Who are we going to go after? Well, let's just go out and start hitting Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So we did. And we started hitting artists, whether we had a remote notion that we'd get them or not. I mean, who the fuck messages Milo on Facebook and says, hey, you want to be on an interview?
Yeah.
And who the fuck would expect Milo to go, yeah, sure. When do you want to do it? Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
So on Saturday, and I think the time is to be determined, but we'll put it out there on Facebook and social media and everything here within the next couple of days. Saturday, we launch our inaugural interview with Milo Ackerman of the Descendants. And I will say, hands down, I watched it again last night before I went to bed. And I mean, I was like ear to ear smiles, just like enjoying every minute of the second time we interviewed him. So it was such an amazing interview. And to say that it would be hard to match it after now having several other interviews under the belt, it's actually not true. Every interview we've done so far has been us walking away and being like, holy shit. Like we interviewed, I won't give any names yet because we're going to launch them out with teasers, but we interviewed a 74-year-old former record label owner who found some of the biggest names in punk rock. I'll just say that. We got to interview, we're about to interview a little deeper into folk punk. So tomorrow night we've got an interview with an artist in the folk punk range that I think most everybody's going to recognize. And it's kind of a wild ride. We've got artists that we had no clue would even talk to us. And for the first time this last week, we've got them start to reach out to us now. So, and we haven't even launched an episode. So it's, talk about a little bit of star power or not star power, starstruck.
Yeah.
And, by all means, we've kind of felt that a little bit. It's been pretty amazing, like the outpouring and the support from you guys and from, all the whole punk rock community that we've been a part of, just seeing, over 400 likes in 7 days and 2,500 views on our Descendants trailer in 7 days. It's like, couldn't even imagine it being so big, but yeah, websites at pitrules.com or, all social media, and just look up Rules of the Pit, and there we are.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to that Milo interview.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. But I appreciate you guys having me on and let me plug it.
Course, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
All the guys are stoked, so we've built a good brain trust.
Anytime at all, man. This was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming on again, man. We appreciate your time.
Anytime, man. I'll talk.
You got to get going.
I'll talk at any time. I'm happy to do it.
All right, man.
All right, guys.
Gregor?
Yep.
Trix yogurt gives you so many color combinations, it can make your head spin. With every spoonful a different colorful swirl, everybody can dig it. That's why kids who eat it won't stand for anything else. How about sharing with a friend?
Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Deliciously fruity Trix yogurt from YoPlay. The combinations are endless, and so is the fun.
Is he gonna wake up? Don't wake Daddy! Is he gonna wake up? Don't wake Daddy!
The game where you try to sneak into the kitchen without waking Daddy. Land on a noise, it could be back to bed for you.
Don't wake Daddy!
From Parker Brothers.